before starting presentation, I should say that there is still huge room for improvement in my both language skills and my knowledge in marketing. So if there is some misunderstandings, please feel free to ask questions. Okay? Okay. By the end of this presentation, you will learn about what is brand and how brands build, and finally, how manage brand. Let's get started. Okay. Before starting talking about brand, I want to ask you, what do you think about brand? I think all of you are kind of familiar with this term, and I think you should have some understanding about what brand is. What do you think? Opinion?
I think brand is what others thinking about you.
Yeah, you're right. But before starting reading books about marketing, I used to think that brand is just symbol or name of product. No, I think most people think in that way. But when I read the book by Philip Kotler, he says that branding is not just symbol, name or logo. It is about what your customers, people think about your brand. Brand represents customers' perceptions and feelings about your product and its performance. And he says that products are created in the factory, but brands are created in the mind. Did you get it? For example, all of us know about the brand Rolex, yes? When you think about Rolex watches, what comes to your mind? What comes to your mind? Luxury, status, quality, yeah? And they installed this idea about their brand gradually in the minds of people. That's why people think that when you see the watch on the people's hand, you think that these people are wealthy or rich or of high status. Okay? Okay. And why we need brands? How brands appeared? The main reason for why brands exists is that nowadays we have too many choices. We have too many choices, too many products, and all of them have kind of similar features. And we don't have time to learn about every product, their features, their quality. You know, before buying something, we have to make sure that it is the best. It is the most suitable option for us. And branding helps us to save time to learn about every product. And when we see brands, we are sure about their quality. And we think that they are best suitable option for our needs. And brand is a storehouse of trust that matters more and more as choices multiply. We want to simplify their lives. We want to simplify our, dilemma in order to choose one option. Did you get it? And it's understandable?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let's move on. How are brands built? Most people think that brands are built just by advertising, but it is a myth. It's misunderstanding, because you cannot build strong brand just with only advertising. You should use variety of tools like advertising, public relations, sponsorships, events, social cases, clubs, and so on. And do you remember we discussed about what is important, brand or quality? Do you remember?
Yeah.
And Philip Kotler says, in order to be, popular and brand product, you should have quality first. It's impossible to achieve brand without quality. That's why first you should work on your quality, then move on to create branding. Okay? And imagine you are a new product and you should position your brand in the market. What you should do? First of all, the marketer should establish a mission for the brand and vision of what the brand must be and do. Before that, you should choose target customers. And for example, let's take Apple as an example. Their campaign was think different. Think different. Their aim was to do something no one before did. They are always in search of innovation, new features no one before created. And their customers also should be in search of innovation, imagination, and creativity. Their products always attract such kind of people, and they targeted on these people who are into creativity and innovation. Okay? And after establishing a mission, what your brand intended to do, you will start create a company's promise. What is promise? What is promise? What do you think? You can say your promise in your tagline, in your logo, in your name. For example, Nike's tagline is just do it. Yeah? Just do it. Nike is very popular brand for its quality. I think it was first the company which manufactures kind of sport wears for sports people, yeah? Athletes. And their aim was to help their customers to do their best in competition. Their intention was not to sell their products, but help their customers. That's important. We should be customer-centered. We should be customer-centered. Our intention should not be selling our products, but help our customers to make their life easier for them. Okay? That's mission. That's why, in order to illustrate their mission, they created such kind of logo to help their customers to motivate themselves. Okay? And also, brand promise must be clear, simple, and honest. Most importantly, honest. As I said before, it's clear, simple, and honest. I'm going to talk about honesty. And when talking about positioning brand, Philip Kotler says that you should be honest, because if you exaggerate your brand's features, quality, your customers' expectations is gonna be high, and when they experience something lower, they will be disappointed, and it's gonna ruin your reputation. It's not gonna work for you for the best. For example, if I say you, if you come to my lessons, you will get 7 in 3 months. It's not honest. It's not honest. You know, it can sound, best, but it's not honest. It's not gonna help me. Okay. And when positioning your brand, you should be different from other popular brands, because they already occupy the market, the target market. You should choose another. You should be somehow different from them. In order to stand out from your competitors, you should find some feature that you can do. Most importantly, you can do. You can improve all the time. And in that way, your audience you can remember for something you want to be known. For example, do you know Amazon? And in his brand positioning, in its brand positioning, it says that what stands us from our competitors is that quick delivery, and obsession with our customers. It says that they are different from other online shoppings because they promise quick delivery and obsession with their customers. It's what differentiates them from their competitors. You should find some kind of feature like this, okay? New brands. Philip Kotler, in his book, suggests that in order to be a good brand, you should have interesting name. Your name should be attractive and also memorable, he says. In recent decades, it has become very famous to choose some awkward or kind of quirky names like Yahoo, I don't know, other examples. But he suggests that we should choose names that have actual meaning, and the name should be aligned to our promise, our objectives, and it should show our identity. Okay? Tell a fascinating story. I very like this point because he says that nowadays, if you come into market with advertising, it's not gonna help you because people no longer believe advertising. They already lost faith in advertising because mostly in advertisements people lie. And if print and when it comes to story, what kind of story you should create? You can tell about your background of company or how ideas came to your mind, what was the reason you started producing this product. And also most people nowadays use personal branding, personal branding. For example, when I asked one student what's the businessman you admire, he talked about the businessman who had very much difficulties when starting the business, and because he could overcome these difficulties, he has become famous businessman, and it gives people motivation and it touches people's feelings. That's why they remember longer about this person or a businessman, and it can help you to be popular when it comes to branding. And also, learning about a brand from others creates credibility. If people tell a story about the brand, you are likely to remember it for a long time, because when you came across this product, you will unconsciously choose this. It's kind of psychology. Okay. And ultimately, the brand is built by your employees who deliver a positive experience to the customers. Most business people, don't give enough attention to this, because employees are also plays very important role. For example, if you go to a market and the salespeople are rude or didn't pay attention to you, you will be disappointed, dissatisfied, and that's why you are not gonna come this market anymore. But imagine if the salespeople are polite, they are always smiling, and they listening to your requirements, and they are able to choose best option for you. You are likely to come back and because you are satisfied. It makes huge difference. Okay? Okay. Great brands present emotional benefits. Emotional benefits. And nowadays, marketing is all about emotions. For example, do you watch advertisements of Coca-Cola? Coca-Cola.
Yes.
They include universal values. Universal values in every advertisement, like family, friendship, sharing things, smiling, happiness. It's all about emotions. And when we see these advertisements, we believe that cola brings us happiness, friendship. That's why they can achieve success more than other competitors. And also, in other countries, people pay attention that if these products are environmentally friendly or not. Do they damage atmosphere or not? In our country, people don't do that, but I think in coming years, we also start paying attention to this. Do you know Tesla? No, all of you know Tesla, okay? And one reason why this brand is so popular is that it produces environmentally friendly cars. That's why this brand is popular. And we should also pay attention to this point as well. Okay, how manage brand? What do you think? What's managing brand? Once you build a strong brand, you have to protect it. You have to protect it because the market is getting competitive day by day, and there are a lot of brands like you. They immediately can take over you if you stop protecting your brand. And again, most people think that brands are managed by advertising, and it's also wrong. The brand's positioning must be continuously communicated to customers. Major brand marketers often spend huge amounts on advertising to create brand awareness and build preference and loyalty. For example, you know Coca-Cola again. It's very popular, but it still spends a lot of money on advertising because it's managing its brand. And okay, talking about advertising, there are also many touch points that increase our brand awareness and help us to create deep connections with our customers. And they are advertising, personal experience with the brand, word of mouth. Do you know word of mouth? Yeah? Do you know? Word of mouth is kind of gossip. Most people talk about branding to each other. It's word of mouth. Word of mouth. You will learn about brand not from advertisements, but from people. Okay. Social media, and company web pages and mobile apps. For example, Amazon. It has its own mobile app. Finally, company needs to train its people to be customer-centered. As I said before, we should work for customers, not to sell our products. And your employees should be also customer-centered. Okay? We are working for customers, not producing products. That's